Bienvenidos a este especial de 90 minutos sobre las campañas presidenciales de Kamala Harris y Donald Trump. A lo largo de este vídeo exploraremos los momentos más destacados, las propuestas clave y las diferencias fundamentales que podrían definir el futuro de Estados Unidos. Desde debates intensos hasta anuncios inesperados, estos eventos han dado forma a la política actual. Comenzamos con el debate del 28 de junio, donde Joe Biden enfrentó a Donald Trump. Este evento fue crucial, ya que el desempeño de Biden fue ampliamente cuestionado. Poco después, Biden enfrentó un desafío personal al contagiarse de COVID-19 durante su campaña en Nevada. Esto afectó su salud y sus apoyos. Con Biden fuera de la contienda, Kamala Harris lanzó su campaña presidencial destacando temas como los derechos LGTBIQ+ y el aborto. En un evento significativo, Joe Biden mostró su apoyo a Kamala Harris, agradeciéndole por continuar con la lucha. Donald Trump ha propuesto deducciones fiscales para intereses de préstamos en la compra de automóviles, buscando estimular la producción nacional. También ha prometido eliminar la doble tributación para estadounidenses en el extranjero. Kamala Harris se enfoca en una economía inclusiva, prometiendo inversiones en infraestructuras, salarios dignos y derechos sindicales. También propone créditos fiscales reembolsables para familias de clase media. Harris defiende la legalización federal de la marihuana y aboga por salarios dignos para todos los trabajadores. En inmigración, Harris busca un sistema justo con un camino a la ciudadanía, mientras Trump promueve deportaciones masivas. Además, Harris ha propuesto duplicar los recursos para extraditar y procesar organizaciones criminales transnacionales y cárteles, así como detenciones y expulsiones rápidas por cruces ilegales. Harris quiere reducir los gases de efecto invernadero, mientras Trump apoya los combustibles fósiles. Trump ha prometido salir nuevamente de los acuerdos climáticos de París y eliminar regulaciones ambientales impuestas por la administración Biden. Harris promete restaurar el liderazgo global de EE.UU, apoyando a Ucrania y reforzando alianzas. Ha expresado su apoyo al derecho de Israel a defenderse. El 11 de septiembre, Kamala Harris y Donald Trump se enfrentaron en un debate tenso centrado en temas como inmigración y economía. En este video vamos a revisar discursos clave que han definido las campañas desde anuncios hasta respuestas. Además, hemos creado tablas en las que podemos visualizar las posturas de Kamala y Trump.
See Barack Hussein Obama last night take little shots. He was taking shots at your president. And so was Michelle. You know, they always say, sure, please stick to policy, don't get personal. And yet they're getting personal all night long, these people.
Former President Trump responding to some of the personal attacks on him by Democrats at the convention, as he and his running mate, J.D. Vance, spent most of the week in DNC counter-programming, where they took their message on the road with campaign events in crucial battleground states. Each day, a different focus on a different issue. Trump making a notable stop at the Arizona border on Thursday, where he vowed to, quote, make America safe again by cracking down on illegal immigration. We're back with Dan Henninger, Kim Strassel, and Kyle Peterson. Kyle, so you were making the point before the break about Trump maybe taking the bait on these personal attacks, and there he was, taking the bait on the personal attacks. Is that working for him to go tit for tat on personalities?
I think it doesn't, and I think part of the problem is it distracts from the message that he is trying to drive on the Biden-Harris administration record and on Harris's record and policies that she would probably pursue in the Oval Office in the White House. I think some of the stuff that Trump and Vance are doing on the campaign trail is all well and good, fine arguments. But if Trump holds a long rally and he talks about these policies and he talks about how Kamala Harris supported Medicare for all and wants to abolish private health insurance, or at least she did as of 2020, and then he throws in there the kind of clips that you played, what is going to get played on the news? What are most Americans going to see? They're not going to see him talking about Medicare for all. They're going to see him taking these personal jabs. And I think that's part of the problem is even if he's making the policy argument, he needs to have better discipline in order to make that argument and drive only that argument without these kind of distractions that the media will love to play the next day.
Kim, the former president said on Fox after Harris's speech that where was she with all of this for 4 years? She could have done something about the border for 4 years, and she didn't. This seems to me to be a crucial part of the argument that Trump needs to make, because he's got to make this a referendum on her beliefs and policy issues, and also her record. He's got to stop being the incumbent himself and let her get away with being the challenger.
I know. And, you know, we were talking about the way that Democrats are framing Donald Trump now. I think the biggest thing he's done, though, is give them the opening to suggest that they are the agents of change. And so I was watching that live tweeting during the speech, and I thought, finally, this is what you need to be doing. He has to be out there every day. And part of this is he cannot help himself. He keeps talking about his time in office and wrongs that have been done to him and the election and the crowd sizes. As Kyle notes, he needs to be aware that that's the only stuff the press is going to play out of all of these events. So he's got to be super laser focused on saying the last 4 years, look what they brought you. And then he has to start talking more about his future policy agenda.
Dan, I think let's be candid here. Issues aren't the former president's strong suit. I mean, he kind of gets bored in these talks, you know. I mean, when he turns to the teleprompter and starts reading what they've written for him, he says, "Oh gosh, do I have to do this?" And he starts going back into his, comedian on the stump act. But then he gets away from the message of focusing on here's what she really thinks and why it matters. He's got to explain some of this to voters.
Well, he does, and he's got a pretty good example of how to do that, which is to say his running mate, J.D. Vance. I watched Senator Vance twice this week, most recently when he was in Georgia, and he stood on the tarmac there and took all questions from both. The way he's been doing is to say he wants to answer questions from local media first to see what their local interests are, and then he goes to the national media, and he does answer their questions in detail. Certainly he's talking about what their position is on the border, as it was in Georgia. He was asked, for instance, about Trump's difficulties with Governor Kemp in Georgia, and he said that's true. They have had their disagreements, but J.D. Vance, has spoken to Governor Kemp, and the Kemp is all in on doing something for the campaign. That was the kind of interesting detail you expect from a candidate. Governor Walz and Kamala Harris so far are doing none of that. Vance is exposing himself to it, and indeed is Donald Trump. So I think in that sense, American people are going to start asking, where are the Democratic candidates? Why can't they just stand in front of the press or the American people and answer a few questions?
Kyle, it's a really interesting point, because Harris and Walz are conducting sort of their own version of Joe Biden's campaign in the basement from 2020. They're basically saying, look, this is we don't need to talk to you guys. We're just going to float above this. Do you think they can get away with that for the rest of the campaign?
Well, we know she's going to share the debate stage with Donald Trump, or at least she's said that she's willing to do that. So there'll be at least one opportunity for him to push her on some of these questions, and I think that raises the stakes for that debate. And I hope he has good advisors telling him that this is where he needs to go on these policy issues. But I think that to the extent that he can put her on the defensive on some of this stuff, how did you change your mind on Medicare for all? Then she will feel obligated to sit down with some journalists and answer some of those questions.
Estudio Estado a estado de los votantes de cada estado y sus apoyos. Como resumen, si te quedas hasta el final del vídeo, vamos a poner una tabla en la que vamos a comparar las posturas de Kamala y Trump en cada punto. Las elecciones presidenciales presentan visiones contrastantes para el futuro de Estados Unidos. Desde economía hasta derechos sociales, cada candidato ofrece un camino distinto que podría redefinir la nación. A medida que nos acercamos al día electoral, es crucial que los votantes consideren cuidadosamente estas diferencias al tomar su decisión. Por eso vamos a analizar el vídeo de Trump donde responde a todas las dudas. Para que cada uno pueda analizar todo lo que hemos resumido, hemos corregido y subido los subtítulos en español de los vídeos originales de Trump y del estudio estado a estado de los votantes de cada estado y sus apoyos. Como resumen, si te quedas hasta el final del vídeo, vamos a poner una tabla en la que vamos a comparar las posturas de Kamala y Trump en cada punto.
Thank you, everybody. Well, thank you very much. It's an honor. And they told me under no circumstances are you allowed to use a teleprompter. And I got up here and I see this beautiful teleprompter. So here I am. But it is a tremendous thing. It's a tremendous dinner. I've come here with my father. So it was 3 times, but it was also many times before that, a long time ago, and it's a very special dinner. And you've done a fantastic job, Cardinal. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So I'd like to thank Your Eminence very much, and members of the clergy, so many people I know. Speaker of the House Johnson, what a job you're doing. He's done a great job. Senator Schumer, good. Yeah, I supported him. I don't know. He used to say that's true, and now I'm not sure he would, but I gave him his first check from an office in Beach Haven, and I was very proud of it. I don't know about lately. No, I was. It was his first check. He was running, and I said, he's a good man. Senator Gillibrand, thank you very much. Thank you very much for working hard. Governor Hochul, wherever you may be up, this is a big day, right? Where is the governor? Good job. It's not an easy one, is it? But you're doing all right. We have to get a little money from the federal government, I have to tell you. It's about time. It's about time. Mayor Adams, good luck with everything. They went after you. They went after you, Mayor. Yeah, boy, I knew that. 9.5 months ago, I said, he just said something about the administration. He's going to be indicted any moment. And guess what happened? But you're going to win. I think you're going to win. I know you're going to win. So good luck. Good luck. I don't like what they do. I don't like what they do. And also distinguished, got so many friends up here. It's great. A lot of great friends. Some of my best friends. And you are right, they are distinguished and they are wealthy for the most part. A couple are having a hard time, but they're going to get over it. I also want to thank my very beautiful wife, and thank you for mentioning, but can you believe this? She did a book, and it's a really good book, and she worked hard on it, and it just became #1 on the New York Times list, so I think that's okay. That's not an easy thing to do, especially when your name is Trump and you're on the New York Times list. That must be selling like hotcakes. But thank you for mentioning. I appreciate it. Good job you did. It's a true pleasure to be with you this evening. Amazing pleasure. And these days it's really a pleasure anywhere in New York without a subpoena for my appearance. Anytime I don't get a subpoena, I'm very happy. They've gone after me, Mr. Mayor. You're peanuts compared to what they've done to me. And you're going to be okay. But I have to be careful, however, to understand that this will be the first time in the history of this event where jokes will be fact-checked, and they will be. And they will be. It's been a long tradition for both Democrat and Republican candidates for President of the United States to attend this dinner. It's a rule. You got to go to the dinner. You got to do it. Otherwise, bad things are going to happen to you from up there. You can't do what I just saw on that screen. But my opponent feels like she does not have to be here, which is deeply disrespectful to the event and in particular to our great Catholic community. Very disrespectful. The last Democrat not to attend this important event was Walter Mondale, and it did not go very well for him. He lost 49 states and he won one, Minnesota. So I said, there's no way I'm missing it. Actually, it was not easy for me to get here tonight. Because I wasn't going to miss this thing, no matter, I didn't care. I wasn't going to miss it. But that's true, Walter Mondale, 49-1. He was expected to do well, and it didn't work out. It shows you there is a God. I mean, for those people that are questioning it. I understand the real reason that she's not here is she's hunting with her running mate, spending a lot of time hunting. In any event, it's a weird. You know the word weird. They call me weird. They call JD weird. We're very solid people. This guy is calling us weird, but this was weird that the Democrat candidate is not here and with us tonight. I want to also congratulate somebody's going to make us all healthy. RFK Jr., we love you. I don't see him. He's campaigning all over the place. He's campaigning. You're all over. Hello, you both. Nice to see you both. You're doing a good job. He's a great guy, too. He really is. He's going to make us a healthier place. We're going to let him go wild for a little while. Then I'm going to have to maybe rein him back. Because he's got some pretty wild ideas, but most of them are really good, I think. He's a good man, and he believes the environment, the healthy people. He wants healthy people. He wants healthy food, and he's going to do it. He's going to have a big chance to do it because we do need that. I would not have missed the Al Smith dinner for anything in the world. I still remember coming here as a very young guy with my father, Fred. He was a great guy, my father. He was a tough cookie, but he had a very big heart. He was, anytime we'd walk down the street, and you don't see it too much anymore, there'd be people standing with tin cans, and he would always take out $100 and put it in that can. And I always thought it was beautiful. And frankly, I even think more so now it was beautiful, because nowadays you don't see it so much. But I miss him, and we used to come here very religiously. And a great New York tradition has been born 79 years ago. It was born 79 years ago, and there are some people that were here for almost that length. I know many of them, and it's not a pretty picture. Not a pretty picture. The two candidates for president are supposed to exchange good-natured barbs, and you know we get along very well. I didn't like Biden very much, and now I like him quite a bit. You know, and now I say that she's much worse than him. He was a much better candidate than her, actually. And when we hopefully win, dispose of her, I like her a lot, but right now I can't stand her. It's true. I can't stand her. I've never liked people that I was competing against. When you do, a lot of bad things happen. And we are doing well. By the way, the votes are starting to come in. You got to get out and vote. And Catholics, you got to vote for me. Just remember. You better remember I'm here, and she's not. I could have done that too. But you do something that's incredible. The Catholic Church, you're helping the poor, educating children, and supporting the vulnerable. But if you really wanted Vice President Harris to accept your invitation, I guess you should have told her the funds were going to bail out the looters and rioters in Minneapolis, and she would have been here, guaranteed she would have been here. Guaranteed. She would have been okay. She would have been okay with that. But I know this isn't my normal crowd tonight, because it just isn't. It's not my normal crowd. Believe me, my normal crowd is younger, has a lot more energy. But you have certain advantages too, like cash, lots of cash. But many of you are Manhattan liberals from the media and the Democrat Party. I always say the Democrat, you know, Chuck doesn't like that. He likes Democratic, and it sounds much more beautiful, the Democratic Party. I always say the Democrat Party because it sounds worse. It is true. He likes Democratic. Why don't they just change the name? This way, you know, it is Democrat. But I must say I was shocked when I heard that Kamala was skipping the Al Smith dinner. I'd really hoped that she would come, because we Can't get enough of hearing her beautiful laugh. She laughs like crazy. We would recognize it any place in this room, and all polls are indicating I'm leading big with the Catholic vote, as I should be, But I don't think Kamala has given up yet. She hasn't. Instead of attending tonight, she's in Michigan receiving communion from Gretchen Whitmer. That's not a pretty sight. But Catholics, please don't be too insulted by Kamala's absence. If the Democrats, yeah, he says, thank you very much, I appreciate it. If Democrats really wanted to have someone not be with us this evening, they would have just sent Joe Biden. You know, he's having second thoughts, you know that, right? He wants to come back. If she does any worse in the polls, they're going to bring him back again, I think. Chuck, he's going to do it. He's the one that got him out. That's the guy. Much more so than Crazy Nancy, I will tell you, because I know him. He did it. Joe has almost disappeared from view. The only way he could be seen less is if he had a show on CNN. They had nothing. They've got nothing. Fake news, right? Fake. That term wasn't good. You know, they say that term is no longer in vogue because it's much worse than fake. I don't want to tell you what the real name is. I won't do it because all those cameras would shut off immediately. They don't like that. But apparently Joe didn't think it was fair for me to have the podium to myself with Kamala skipping the event. So he called, looked at me, and said, don't. Does anybody understand that? Yeah. I thought it was actually very good until just now. It was announced this morning that at a funeral yesterday, in a rare moment of clarity, Joe told Barack Hussein Obama that, quote, only a few people got that. Or as Rush Limbaugh used to say, Barack Hussein Obama. Remember, bro? He was a piece of work. We miss him. But as he told Barack Hussein Obama, quote, she's not as strong as me. She's not as strong. Do you understand that? And Obama agreed, saying, that's true. Other than that, I think the Democrats are getting along quite well. Right? Nobody got that one. The fact is, we need new leadership in this country. Right now, we have someone in the White House who can barely talk, barely put together two coherent sentences, who seems to have mental faculties of a child, it's said. There's a person that has nothing going, no intelligence whatsoever, but enough about Kamala Harris. Let's get on to something else. I know Kamala's word because she spends a lot of time complaining. I won't agree to another debate. But the truth is I've debated twice this year, once against Joe Biden and once against David Muir of ABC. That was amazing, 11 times. None for the other side. Do you think that's fair news? I don't think so. That's fake news. I don't know what's going to happen 3 weeks from now. It's going to be very interesting. It just started. It's actually, isn't it sort of exciting? Right? It really, isn't it just exciting what's going on? It's a process. It's a rough process, too. Not so pretty, and yet sometimes very beautiful. But the press is reporting that Democrats are starting to panic. They're panicking. They are panicking because, you know, the votes that are coming in very, very strong a certain way. I won't tell you what way that is, but Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't he look glum? He looks glum. But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president. And I actually said, do you mind if I do that? And he said, no, you got to do what you got to do. He's a pro. He's a professional. No, he's a good man, actually. I hate to say it. Don't ever use it against me, please. They'll say, this dinner was really setting me back when I say it. But I've known him a long time. There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris? Doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. Every one of those people is voting for me. And as you may have seen, Kamala did an interview on Fox News yesterday. It went so poorly for her that the Democrats have been forced to install another 100 drop boxes throughout the city. And the upside really is Kamala now sees the benefit of deportation. She wants to deport people. She's vicious. She wants to deport people, and she wants to start by deporting Bret Baier of Fox. It's an interesting interview last night. Huh? A major issue in this race is child care, and Kamala has put forward a concept of a plan. A lot of people don't like it. The only piece of advice I would have for her in the event that she wins would be not to let her husband, Doug, anywhere near the nannies. Just keep them away. That's a nasty one. That's nasty. I told these idiots that gave me this stuff, that's too tough. Oh, I did, you know, they told me the last time I did this, I was running against crooked Hillary. And, I mean Hillary. No, I was running against crooked Hillary and I did it, and I thought it was a roast. So I was told it's a roast. And I had the meanest guy you've ever seen write stuff up, and man, was the room angry. Even the Cardinal remembers. I went overboard, don't you agree, Cardinal? It was like terrible. And I knew I was in trouble around midway through because, you know, people had not, even my own side was angry at me. They were saying, it's too much. But I did it anyway. I didn't give it. Campaigning can take a toll on a family and family life, although I hear that Kamala and her husband carve out some really beautiful alone time at the end of the day for an intimate dinner, just Doug, her, and a teleprompter that she uses quite well. And by the way, she wouldn't have liked this tonight if she was told about no teleprompter. I can't believe I saw a teleprompter. They said they've never had a teleprompter in the history of this dinner. I told that to the Cardinal, right? And then a teleprompter pops up for, he must be a very important comedian to get that. They give you one, but not me. How about that one? Huh? Come here. Yeah, and you did a good job. Tradition holds that I'm supposed to tell a few self-deprecating jokes this evening. So here it goes. Nope, I've got nothing. I've got nothing. There's nothing to say. I guess I just don't see the point of taking shots at myself when other people have been shooting at me for a hell of a long time and they shoot hard. You know, they say about presidents, they say that Andrew Jackson was the president that was the most meanly treated. His wife died. She died of heartache. She was heartbroken at the way they treated him. And they say that second was Abraham Lincoln, but he was in charge of a civil war, you know. So, but those were the two, Andrew Jackson. Up until me, now they say it's not even close. There's never been a president that's been treated so badly as me, and our people aren't happy about it. But I was treated a little bit rough. But I don't mind it somehow, and I think it's just part of the game. I'd like to thank our MC this evening, Jim Gaffigan. Most recently, Jim has been playing Tim Walsh on Saturday Night Live. And that'll be a very short gig, I hope, Jim. But it was fun while it lasted, wasn't it? Let's see how that lasts. It better be quick. We don't want him, and I'm not going to say anymore. But unfortunately, Governor Walsh isn't here himself, but don't worry, he'll say that he was. He's going to say he was. I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walsh. The stupid show, The View, is so bad now that the other day I was watching it and thinking to myself, you know what? They really need to bring Rosie O'Donnell back. That show is bad. Those people are bad. I know every one of them, and they are bad news, I want to tell you. And it doesn't do very well either. I always like to say, you know, ratings are very important. When they don't do well, it doesn't do very well. As I look around the dais, I see all of the usual suspects. For instance, Mayor Adams. I'd like to poke some fun at Eric, but I'm going to be nice. I just want to be nice because I know what it's like to be persecuted by the DOJ for speaking out against open borders. We were persecuted, Eric. I was persecuted, and so are you, Eric. The mayor's dietary restrictions are well known, but I've got to say, I've never met a person who's a vegan who liked turkey so much. There's something about him with turkey. I just found that out today. You know, I haven't been in New York that much. Don't let it, but you're going to win, Eric. We have another former New York City mayor with us, frankly, easily the worst in our history. And it's not Michael, that I can tell you. I'm surprised that Bill de Blasio was actually able to make it tonight, to be honest. He was a terrible mayor. I don't give a shit if this is comedy or not. He was a terrible mayor. He did a horrible job. That's not comedy, by the way, that's fact. But unlike the rest of New York, at least Bill doesn't have to worry about the criminals. They owe him big. He let them get away with a lot of stuff. Well, I'd better wrap up because Mayor Adams told me earlier that I needed to make this one very quick, especially the city has reserved this room for a large group of illegal aliens coming in from Texas. That's right, they've reserved many rooms, a lot of rooms, too many rooms. But in all seriousness, it's an honor to be here to support the city and the community. It's a great community that I love. I've been here a long time and I love it. And then it's going to make a big comeback, and I'm going to help it make a comeback. I'm going to win, and I'm going to make a comeback. We're going to turn this thing around. And I want to pay tribute to a really incredible man, a man who was a tremendous politician, and actually the fact that he was Catholic it probably did him in, right? It probably, nobody knows for sure, but he was a great guy, Al Smith, great guy. Everyone says it, happy warrior. I've said before that I'll say it again as many times as I have to, directly to the mayor and the governor. If I have the honor to be elected next month, we're going to see what happens. It's happening so fast, but if I have the honor, I look forward to working together to make this city greater than ever before. We're going to do that. We're going to be focused on. I'll work with the governor. I'll work with the mayor, Democrats. I will work with them. I work with whoever I have to, and we will even work very hard to bring back the SALT tax deduction. We're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back. We're going to get that thing going, Chuck, okay? I actually thought about not doing jokes tonight. I was going to come out here and say, listen, our country is doing very badly. This is not about jokes. And then some person said, you have to do jokes. I said, I don't want to. There's nothing funny about what's happening to our country. And I actually meant that. I was going to do that. But they convinced me to say some of the things I said tonight. I don't know if they were funny or not, but hey, you think this is easy standing up here and doing this? In front of half a room that hates my guts and the other half loves me? Half of us love me. Well, maybe it's, I think 75% love me. But I actually do. I did think about that, and our country is doing very badly with respect to its open borders and inflation, crushing things happening in the Middle East and Ukraine. It's so sad to see what's happening in Ukraine. Wow. I had a lot of people very religious people come up to me tonight from Ukraine, and they're asking me for help. So sad to see so many people have been killed in Ukraine, and we're going to get it settled up if we win. As I'm president-elect, I'm going to get that done. I'm going to do it before we ever get back. We have to get it stopped. Too much killing. It's killing, and all of those cities are coming crashing down. Those beautiful golden domes are crashing down on their sides. They're so sad to see. The whole thing is so sad. So we're going to be, for all those people, there's so many people came up to the dais, and religious people from Ukraine, and I'm going to say, and I told them, don't worry, we're going to get it stopped. It's too bad it ever started. It should have never started. It wouldn't have started. But we're going to have our country respected again. We're going to make sure that it's respected, and we're going to go out and do very good things for ourselves as a country and for the world. These are challenging times for our beautiful USA, but I'm committed to working with every partner here in New York and all across the nation to build an America that once again is strong and safe and proud and prosperous and free. We're going to make sure together we can create a future defined by great ambitions and grand achievements that once again inspires the dreams of our children, brings back the American dream. You don't hear about the American dream anymore. We're going to make it possible for them to have the American dream. This is a very religious evening to me. It really is. It represents so much. My sister was somebody that loved the church and gave to the church. The cardinal knew that. Had a certain priest that she thought was incredible, right? For a certain very, very fine man that she thought was incredible. Having recently, myself, survived 2 assassination attempts. I survived. I have a chart that went down to the right. Fortunately, I looked at it's my all-time favorite piece of paper. But it went down, and I looked to the right, and I said, you know, was that luck? What was that, luck, or was that God that did that? And I think it was God that did that. I do. But I have a very fresh, Cardinal, I have a very fresh appreciation for how blessed we are by God's providence and His divine mercy. I mean, that was something, I was not supposed to be here tonight. That I can tell you. So with God's help, I know there is nothing that cannot be achieved. We can achieve so much good with this country and get together and unify. I want to thank the Al Smith Foundation for its noble work, and I want to express my tremendous gratitude to the Catholic community. It's a great community. It's a community I've gotten along with all my life. I tell you, when I was president, I was in the Oval Office, and I got a call from the Cardinal, and he said, we need help. It was during the China virus. I want to be accurate when I describe it. And he said, we need help. Our schools are in devastating shape. They needed much more than $1 billion. I won't even tell you the number, but much more than $1 billion. But I've known the community, and I've known the schools. I know so many people that were educated in the Catholic school system, and they are great, and they just speak with it like with love, much more so than almost any system that I've seen. And he said, sir, we have a big problem. We need a number of billions of dollars, or we're going to have to close down the New York school system, the whole system in New York. And I said, give me 15 minutes. I think I can find it. And we gave him billions of dollars. And you know what? He stayed open, and they thrived. And to this day, I hear you did just about the best job there is in education. So, and that was always an honor. That was always. And every time he sees me, he says, thank you very much. I said, I know what you're talking about, but we worked together. We were a good partnership, right? We got that money in about 15 minutes, billions, and it was put to very good use. But I just want to thank everybody. This is a special evening. It's a very serious evening, I think. We have some serious problems in the world, but they're going to get solved, and we're going to make America great again. And thank you very much, and God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
People don't realize just how much government involvement there is in the media, and like how much the government influences the media. I mean, it's crazy how you'll see in fact I think like whoever's manipulating the media should mix it up a bit, because they're really not doing a great job. When they was a week before the debate between Biden and Trump, and everyone was on the media was saying Biden was sharp as a tack, sharp as a tack, sharp as a tack, sharp as a tack, sharp as a tack. I mean, like you should mix it up a little. Get a thesaurus. Okay. the NBC media puppets were just all saying exactly the same thing. So, it's just kind of strange And like, do they all just get the same memo at the same time? I don't know. Where's it? Is there like an email copy list or what? You know, everyone say the same thing at the same time. Yeah, just total puppets.
Hola chicos, bienvenidos al video de hoy. Hoy haremos un gráfico del increíble incremento de Trump durante el mes pasado. En este video, a diferencia de las últimas 4 elecciones presidenciales, las últimas encuestas realizadas en los principales campos de batalla del mapa electoral de 2024 perdieron el resultado final. He regresado y calculado el error promedio de encuesta en los 17 estados más competitivos de 2008, 2012, 2016 y 20 a 20 ciclos. Con esta información, si estos estados pendientes tienen el mismo error de encuesta, podemos observar el posible mapa de la escuela electoral para 2024. Para ser claro, usaré una métrica de error ponderada que se ajusta para la reciencia. Esto implica que el error de encuesta en 2020 tiene mayor relevancia comparado con el de 2016, y así sucesivamente. Usando el promedio de la encuesta más reciente de la encuesta real, aplicaré este error ponderado. Luego, utilizando los resultados ajustados, asignaré calificaciones en nuestro mapa clasificándolos como probablemente inclinado, inclinado y arrojado hacia arriba. Vamos a profundizar en esto. Primero, con respecto a Arizona, basándonos en las 11 encuestas más recientes en las últimas 3 semanas, Trump lidera a Harris por un promedio del 1,1%. Trump tiene 48,4%, mientras Harris posee 47,3%. Analizando errores de votación pasados en Arizona, los candidatos presidenciales republicanos han superado las encuestas en un promedio de 2,3% en los últimos 4 ciclos electorales. Por ejemplo, en 2020, las encuestas menospreciaron a Trump en un 2,3%, aunque Biden prevaleció solo en un 0,3% en comparación con el 2,6% de su promedio de votación el día de las elecciones. Arizona se destaca porque el candidato republicano ha sido subestimado en cada 4 elecciones anteriores. En 2008, John McCain aumentó de 5 puntos. En 2012, Romney aumentó de 1,6 puntos. En 2016, Trump aumentó de 1,8 puntos y en 2022, 3 puntos. La ventaja de Trump aumentaría al 3,4% al considerar el error de sondeo promedio ponderado de R plus 2,3 en el promedio actual de sondeo claro, obteniendo un margen de 3,4%. Nuestra categoría de margen indicará que Arizona cae en la columna republicana delgada, que se muestra en el mapa por la segunda sombra roja más claro. Los márgenes inferiores a 2,5% son inclinados. Los márgenes entre el 2,5% y el 7% son probables de ser delgados entre el 7% y el 10% y más de 10% seguros. Para su referencia, Colorado tiene 10 votos electorales, siendo uno de los estados con tendencia izquierdista más rápida del país. ya no está bajo consideración para Trump en el Partido Republicano, lo que se muestra en nuestra única encuesta desde que el presidente Biden se retiró de la carrera. En comparación con el triunfo de casi 14 puntos de Biden en 2020, Harris lideró 11 puntos, con un poco menos de rendimiento. Pero mirando la hoja aquí, puede ver que en los últimos 4 ciclos, los demócratas han sido subestimados en un promedio de 1,8%. Fascinante. Colorado es el único estado en el que los demócratas han sido subestimados en los 4 ciclos. Agregar un 1,8% al margen de Harris resulta en un total de Harris más 12,8, suficiente para que Colorado esté en la columna azul segura en nuestro mapa. Florida, con 30 votos electorales, tiene a Trump con el 50,3% y Harris el 44,2%. Basado en 6 encuestas recientes, el promedio de encuestas muestra que Trump lidera a Harris por 6,1%. El liderazgo de Trump aquí no es sorprendente dado el reciente ciclo electoral de Florida. Un fuerte giro hacia la derecha, Florida ha subestimado a los republicanos en un promedio de 2,5% desde 2008. Biden lideró la encuesta final en 2,5 puntos en 2020, lo que hace el error especialmente notable allí. Sin embargo, Trump terminó ganando por un 3,4%, la mayor margen para un candidato presidencial en Florida desde 2004. Florida es uno de los pocos estados donde Trump mejoró en 2020 en comparación con 2016. Ajustando el error histórico de la encuesta, la ventaja actual de Trump de 6 puntos sobre Harris aumenta al 8,5% en nuestro mapa electoral. Esto confirma que Florida es un estado probablemente republicano. Ahora viajemos al norte de Florida a Georgia, donde Trump lidera solo medio porcentaje, 48,3% a 47,8%. Esta carrera está muy cerca y dentro del margen de error. A diferencia de muchos otros estados, las encuestas de Georgia en los últimos 10 años han sido notablemente precisas. En 2016 y 2020, Trump no tuvo mejor desempeño en muchos otros estados, pero en Georgia fue subestimado. Para examinar el error histórico de las encuestas, los demócratas tienen solo un sesgo promedio ponderado del 0,5%. Cambiar un poco el promedio actual de las encuestas cambia la ventaja de Trump del 0,5% al 1%, consolidando la inclinación de Georgia. Columna republicana con Arizona a D plus 0,2 y Georgia a D plus 0,3. Ambos estados fueron los más cercanos en 2020. Esto representaría un segundo vuelco para Trump junto a Arizona. Ahora nos aventuramos en el medio oeste vital, empezando por Iowa, entre los estados de tendencia derecha más rápida del país. Desde que Biden se retiró, no hemos visto una encuesta entre Trump y Harris, aunque sigue siendo más competitiva que otros estados con varias encuestas publicadas. Iowa votó por Trump con una ventaja fuerte en 2016 y 2020 sin la encuesta actual. Según el margen de Trump de plus 8 en 2020, clasificaremos a Iowa como un republicano más probable con un error promedio de 4,6%. Iowa se jacta de que es una de las mayores subestimaciones de los republicanos en los últimos ciclos. Por lo que vale, esto incluye una subestimación de 6 a 7 puntos de Trump en 2016 y 2020, por lo que fortalecerá su posibilidad de estar republicano en nuestro mapa. Nos dirigimos a Maine, ahora hasta el noreste de este ciclo. Hasta ahora solo se han publicado 3 encuestas. En promedio, Harris lideró un 11,6% en el triunfo de 9 puntos de Biden en 2020. Esto muestra una sobreestimación de rendimiento. Históricamente, Maine ha exagerado a los candidatos presidenciales demócratas, en promedio menos de 1 punto. Maine será colocado en la categoría de demócratas seguros en nuestro mapa después de que la ventaja de Harris en Maine cayera un 10,7%. Sin embargo, un fuerte margen democrático se ajusta para ese error de encuesta basado en sus resultados de 2220. Toda es Maine Second District jato de la Probability Republic Column. El segundo distrito de Nebraska cae en la columna demócrata delgada. Ahora viajemos a Michigan, el primero de nuestro trío central del cinturón de óxido. De acuerdo con su demografía y valores básicos, Michigan es quizás el más azul de los 3, especialmente después de su voto de 3.000-2020. Pero en 2024 Trump recientemente encabezó el promedio de encuestas en un 0,9%, 48,5% contra el 47,6% de Harris, según las últimas 10 encuestas disponibles. Para Harris, este cambio es especialmente preocupado porque habría liderado con Trump por 1 o 2 puntos desde que se convirtió en candidatura demócrata. El hecho de que las encuestas de Michigan han subestimado históricamente a los republicanos en un promedio de 1,7%, especialmente en 2016, Trump en un 3,5% y en 2020, 5,1%, agrega más preocupación. Aplicando ese margen de error del 1,7% al margen actual de Trump, su ventaja aumentaría al 2,6%, por lo que Michigan se transfiere a la clasificación republicana magra en nuestro mapa. El camino hacia el éxito de Harris depende de Michigan, ya que generalmente se espera de la izquierda de los vecinos del cinturón de oxidación, Wisconsin y Pensilvania. Perder los tres definitivamente reducirá la ruta de Harris a 270 votos electorales desde el rumbo de los dos estados. Nuestro próximo estado es Minnesota, donde las encuestas reales claras llevan a Harris a su compañero de candidatura Tim Walz, en un promedio de 4,7% en las últimas 4 encuestas, desde Harris plus 3 hasta Harris más 6, de 49% a 44,3%. Comparado con el margen de 7 puntos de Biden hace 4 años, esto marca un rendimiento más de 2 puntos menor para Harris aquí en nuestra página. El error ponderado general de Minnesota es R+2, lo que indica que los republicanos han sido subestimados en un grado similar a Michigan, Florida y Arizona. Clinton lideró más de 7 puntos en el día de las elecciones, pero solo 1,5 puntos de una pérdida sorprendente, por lo que la mayor falta de Minnesota ocurrió en 2016. La ventaja de Kamala Harris ahora cayó al 2,7%, con un cambio de 2 puntos en el promedio de la encuesta, todavía en el espectro demócrata magro. Los 10 votos electorales de Minnesota están incluidos en el total del vicepresidente. Volviendo al oeste a Nevada, Trump ha tomado lidera en el promedio de la última encuesta con un 0,2%, principalmente impulsado por una encuesta reciente de Wall Street Journal que muestra que Trump ha aumentado 6 puntos entre 600 votantes registrados. Nevada ha votado azul en cada uno de los últimos 4 concursos presidenciales. Esta es la primera vez que Trump lidera en Nevada desde fines de agosto, otro patrón alarmante para Harris. Fascinante. La historia de las encuestas de Nevada muestra una modesta sobreestimación del apoyo republicano, con un sesgo promedio del 0,6% a su favor. Esto convierte a Nevada en uno de los 4 estados donde los demócratas han sido subestimados en nuestras páginas. Aunque las encuestas sobreestimaron el desempeño de Biden en 2020, como casi todos los demás estados, el 20, 16, 2012 y 2008, cuando las encuestas subestimaron a Hillary Clinton y Barack Obama. Si cambiamos la escasa ventaja de Trump en línea con el sesgo histórico, el resultado se convierte en una escasa ventaja de Harris del 0,4%, todavía dentro del margen de error. Aún así, eso es suficiente para inclinar a Nevada en la dirección de Harris en nuestro mapa electoral. New Hampshire en Nueva Inglaterra viene a continuación. Biden ganó New Hampshire con 7 puntos en 2020. Como Minnesota, Trump casi lo volvió en 2016 antes de volver a la columna democrática. Harris lidera a Trump por un 7,4% según el promedio más reciente de la encuesta real. El margen de Biden aumentó un poco desde 2020, pero New Hampshire tiene un error histórico de encuesta R+2. Así que, como Minnesota, el GOP ha sido subestimado por 2 puntos. En promedio, la era fue la misma en 2016 y 2020, y en ambos ciclos, Trump subestimó un 3,8%. Usando el cambio de 2 puntos al promedio actual de la encuesta, la ventaja de Harris cayó del 7,4% al 5,4%, por lo que nuestro mapa transformó New Hampshire de un probable demócrata a un demócrata delicado. Nuevo México sigue. Nuevo México votó a la derecha del vecino Colorado por primera vez en más de 50 años en 2020. Se espera que este patrón continúe en noviembre. Comparado con la victoria de Biden por 11 puntos en 2020, Harris lideraba a Trump por un promedio de 8 puntos en las últimas 3 encuestas. Nuevo México es uno de los 4 estados donde históricamente los republicanos han sido sobreestimados, aunque desde 2008 el error promedio de votación es de +1,3. Por esto, la ventaja de Harris subió de 8 puntos a 9,3 puntos. Nuevo México se mantiene firme en la categoría de probables demócratas en nuestro mapa. Ahora se mudó a Carolina del Norte, donde el promedio de encuestas muestra que Trump tiene un escaso 0,5% de ventaja sobre Harris, con 48,2% y 48,7%. 11 encuestas forman este promedio. Trump lidera en 7, Harris lidera en 1 y 3 muestran empate. Aunque todas tienen un margen de error, la única que pone a Harris en cabeza es una encuesta menos creíble de Atlas Intel. Examinando los errores de votaciones pasadas, Carolina del Norte muestra un exceso en favor de los demócratas de 2,5%. Por ejemplo, el promedio final de la encuesta en 2020 se ha adelantado casi 2 puntos, pero Trump prevalece en el estado en un 1,4%. En 2016, las encuestas favorecían a Clinton, pero Trump ganó con casi 4 puntos, corrigiendo el error histórico del 2,5%. La ventaja de Trump sube del 0,5% al 3% en nuestro mapa electoral. Este lugar es Carolina del Norte, en el rango republicano magro, que ahora regresa al centro-oeste de Ohio, una vez considerado un líder perfecto, hoy visto como un bastión republicano. De acuerdo con el promedio de las 7 encuestas más recientes, Trump lidera por un 7,4%. Resulta fascinante que Trump lidere 6 puntos en cada una de las últimas 3 encuestas, aunque es un rendimiento inferior respecto a sus márgenes de 8 puntos en 2016 y 2020. Ohio tiene uno de los mayores errores promedio de encuesta junto con Iowa, con R plus 4,6%. Mientras Barack Obama ganó el estado en 2008 y 2012, Trump superó mucho su limitada ventaja en 2016 y 2020 en un 6,5% y un 7,2% respectivamente. Por ejemplo, lideró a Biden con menos de 1 punto en el promedio final de 538 en 2020, pero finalmente prevaleció con 8 puntos. Corrigiendo el error histórico de Ohio, la ventaja de Trump aumentó del 7,4% al 12%, transformando Ohio de probable a seguro republicano. En nuestra tabla, Trump lidera con 237, apenas por delante de Harris con 219. Con 82 votos aún en juego y 4 estados restantes, pasemos a Pensilvania, uno de los principales campos de batalla de 2024. Encuestas afirman que Trump lidera por 0,3%, con 48,3% frente al 48% de Harris. Trump ha liderado 7 de las últimas 12 encuestas, marcando la primera constancia en Pensilvania en algún tiempo. Las encuestas de Pensilvania históricamente han subestimado a Trump. Hillary Clinton lideró por un 4,1% en las encuestas antes del 2016, pero Trump ganó por un 0,7%. Aunque se esperaba el triunfo de Biden en 2020, las encuestas exageraron su margen en 3,5 puntos. El sesgo promedio resulta R2,2. Ajustando, la ventaja de Trump aumenta al 2,5%, clasificando Pensilvania como republicano magro. Dado que Texas sigue en desarrollo, esto casi asegura el triunfo de Trump. Ahora se dirige a Texas, el segundo estado más grande con 40 votos electorales. En línea, una encuesta real clara encontró que Trump lideró un 5,7%, casi exactamente su victoria del 5,6% en 2016, principalmente debido a una subestimación de 4,5 puntos de Trump en 2020 cuando 5,38 se encuentran dentro de 1 punto. Texas ha sobreestimado el apoyo democrático en un 1,9% desde 2008, pero Trump ganó un 5,6%. Ajustando, su ventaja aumentó al 7,6%, transformando nuestro mapa a probable republicano. Con 2 estados restantes, Trump superó la marca de 270 y ganó 296 votos electorales, garantizando su victoria.